Bill here with the Metals Minute. Today is Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022. Big news day out there in the metals world. We have interest rates going to likely rise another 3/4 of a percentage point. That announcement will be coming out this afternoon by the Federal Reserve. We have a link to a more detailed article in the write-up for this video. So I encourage you to check that out. Makes you wonder who is dictating to whom. Is it the banks telling the Federal Reserve or the Federal Reserve telling the banks? Well, when we dig into that, we find that they're largely one and the same. So anyway, we'll see if those reports pan out. They likely will. And we also have, at the end of October, we see that gold has had the longest decline in terms of consecutive months. October marked the 7th consecutive months in 153 years. So it's been 1869 since gold had this long of a decline. Having said that, it's still one of the best performers for 2022 relative to other asset classes. Most everything except oil, gold has done better than. So here's another interesting tidbit. Central banks around the world are purchasing record amounts of gold. The previous record was 200 and I forget the exact number. It's in the write-up. 200 and some tons, 241 I believe, 241 tons. As of the third quarter of this year, 400 tons purchased by central banks around the world. So we talked about that a couple of metals minutes ago, maybe a week ago or so, about how gold was the best performing incredible bargain, and it absolutely is, and central bank buying is proof of that. Now it's interesting to note that they're increasing gold in reserves worldwide, and some of that is coming at the expense of the dollar. So we see the world, shifting from dollars as the primary reserve asset, and it still is a significant player and likely will be. But there's a shift to gold, and record gold buying for central bank reserves is just one of the indicators of that. So that's a good clue that you and I should continue to consider exchanging some of our dollar assets for gold. And some will try to say that that's not patriotic, but ask yourself this: if it's not patriotic to own gold, why does the United States have the largest gold reserves in the world? So we're just, as a means of securing our own personal financial future, we should take the clue not only from other world governments, but also from our own. So that's it's patriotic to me, and so I think we should continue to consider that. And also, silver is getting a nice bump lately. There's a rumored story, hasn't been confirmed, but there's a story that China is considering changing their lockdown policy, opening up things a little more, and silver has taken off on that news. Keep in mind that 55% of world solar panel production, that used to be the amount that China had, and over the last 12 years that's increased to 84% of solar panel production. And so there's a lot of silver involved with the production of those panels and all the other applications that we have for silver in the ongoing transition to electric and solar power and electrical vehicles and battery production and all things electric. So there's an interesting connection there that is helping drive silver higher the last few weeks. We also have banks announcing hiring in their precious metals markets divisions. trading desks and whatnot, and so metals are back in vogue on Wall Street, and you know, over the last couple of years we've seen them shutter some of their metals trading desks and reduce their operations in surrounding precious metals. That's starting to turn the other way, so keep that in mind. You know, we have central banks more interested than ever in gold. We have commercial banks, investment banks getting more interested in precious metals. That should be a good indicator for you and I. Thanks for tuning in. A lot more happening through this week, and we'll keep you posted. Have a great rest of your week.